Brian Eichler, the leader. Trevor Bayne alongside Eric Holmes. Johnson in the second row. Hornaday, Berkshire, Mayhew, Logano, McDonald, and Haas are your top 10. We go back to green with 52 complete.
Here's Trevor Bayne's opportunity on the outside on this restart.
Gotta go. Can't do it. Eichler clears him.
Just barely.
Eric Holmes trying to come back to the front. Leaves the bottom open for Hornaday in the 33.
Hornaday made it 3 wide for just a moment. I was going to settle in on the inside. Made a little bit of trouble.
You know, Hornaday got up and into 2 cars on the outside, and here we go. It's on.
There's Eddie McDonald's.
Austin Dillon got a piece of it. And it looks like 4 cars.
The 34, Jonathan Gomez came in there real hard. Look at what a tough break for our pole sitter, Chris Johnson, in that 50 car. He gets it refired.
Eddie McDonald backs away the 71. Chris Johnson.
A lot of damage to the front end of the 71 Eddie McDonald car. Chris Johnson is coming straight to pit road.
Well, if Darrell Waltrip was here, as he has been at many of these races, he'd be telling us cautions breed cautions. Watch the 33 of Hornaday, the orange car.
He makes a little bit of contact with Chris Johnson. That sees Chris Johnson up just enough for Jeff Berkshire to get into the back of him. There's Peyton Sellers. We didn't see him originally. He's got quite a bit of damage on that Jigaloo car. There's another view that you see the contact between Hornaday and Johnson, and then Berkshire makes a little bit of contact, turns around Chris Johnson.
Yeah.
Peyton Sellers in the middle of that, Eddie McDonald.
They're also the 34, Jonathan Gomez. The contact from Hornaday was pretty much casual contact, but it upset Johnson's car enough. Berkshire had nowhere to go.
Yeah, you can't
no way to stop.
You can't blame it on Berkshire. They're running so close there, and that just seized Johnson up for just a little bit. Here's Peyton Sellers. He's going to get a great view of this. Unfortunately for him, it's not going to be the one he likes. You see him right down at the bottom of the race and watch in front of him. They're going to come right across, right in front of him.
He took quite a hit on the right front from, I believe, Eddie McDonald, and then got shoved into the tire wall, and they keep coming in.
Wow.
Yikes. Bergie?
Well, Chris Johnson has been in for his first pit stop, Mike, and they're going to have to make several pit stops to get this thing even close to competitive again. It is pretty well beaten up. They did not get the car back out in time. Johnson has just gone down 1 lap so far.
Yeah, tough break for Chris Johnson. What a great day it started out to be for him. Sat on the pole. Was running up in the top 5. You see Peyton Sellers right in front of him with a lot of damage on his car.
And look at Austin Dillon, the front of his number 3. You'll recognize the style of that number. His granddad is Richard Childress. And when he started racing in this series, he asked Pops, what he calls granddad, if he could run his old number. Richard gave it considerable thought and said, sure, let's keep it in the family. So Mike Dillon's son, Richard Childress's grandson, is out here. He's I hope he's got a pass tomorrow, because the folks at Forsyth Country Day School will wonder where he is on Monday if he's not back. But boy, he's got a lot of damage.
And a lot of people don't realize that the 3 number that Dale Earnhardt Sr. made so famous was Richard Childress's number when he was a driver.
That's right. Now, is that cosmetic, I wonder, or is there more to that?
Boy, I don't. If the radiator is not leaking, he may be able to get by with that and then beat on it a little bit during our break.
Here's a list of who is involved. Some of those cars, Sellers on pit road now, so is McDonald.
I think Jeff Berkshire probably had minimal damage. He just gave that little nudge to Johnson, and Johnson actually shot across to the inside of the racetrack.
Jim, how about Austin Dillon?
Well, the crew jumped immediately as soon as they saw the car go around. They've been into discussion with their 18-year-old driver and relying on him. They said, weave it back and forth. Is that left front going down? He said, I don't think so. They said, stay out there. We'll get it at the halfway break. So unfortunately for Austin Dillon, hard on the brakes, a lot of damage. We'll see how that car is under full green and full load. Dick?
Well, Peyton Sellers came with high hopes. He thought he was going to have a great run here, but unfortunately the right front corner of his car is really badly torn up. The Virginia driver is back out on the racetrack, or headed in that direction, but his car is a mess.
A tough break for Peyton Sellers, as well as the 71 of Eddie McDonald.
58 laps complete at lap 100. We'll take a 10-minute break. another break at lap 200. This one will go 250 laps, and there's 2 more big features to follow. So
a lot of racing here.
Start the popcorn machine and plan on a nice long evening watching your favorite sport right here on Speed.
Well, the good news for Peyton Sellers and Eddie McDonald, they still are on the lead lap. They've made some hasty repairs, and they remain on the lead lap.
The bad news for Brian Eichler, who led to this caution, is he'll have to restart on the inside.
Yeah, the bad news is he's leading.
That's right.
He was able to hold off Trevor Bayne on this most recent restart.
Yep.
A very, very aggressive move, and that's what you that's what you have to do when you have a situation like this. When you're really going to restart this race, not in the preferred line. Trevor Bayne will have the preferred line on the outside.
Trevor in that black DEI #1, the Strutmasters. Dale Earnhardt Chevy. Trevor from Knoxville. Dick?
Well, I'll tell you what, Mike, if there is a kid that deserves a ride at the big time, he's Eddie McDonald. This 28-year-old does an awful lot of the work on this race car himself. He has done well here in this event. He's finished 5th and 6th, had a pair of DNFs. Not his own fault, certainly, in either one of those DNFs. And he was looking for a great run today. He knows the big league guys are watching this event.
Guys, just checking in with the 17 of Jason Patterson. He had a brush with the wall in qualifying. He went to a backup car. They've been down pit road now 3 times in that Lucas Oil machine. And a big change for Patterson, a kid that's from this area. His team is now being run out of the state of Wisconsin with Chad Wood. Everything is based there, so this car was prepped in that shop, brought here, and will run the entire East Series for Patterson. But unfortunately for them, brake failure in the front end caused them to go to the backup after a crash in qualifying. They've now been down pit road 3 times now.
So in the garage, or rather inside the inner lane of pit road, Salemi, Steckler, Hayes, Foster, Gomez. Right now the car is out of the race. They'll get another lap or 2 here of caution. The monster, Ricky Carmichael. Boy, he is such a monster of Supercross. He is a superstar of Supercross, and yet a relative unknown on 4 wheels. Trying to advance his career, headed for the Camping World Truck Series.
Just announced that this week that he will join Kevin Harvick Incorporated to run the Camping World Series as a teammate to Ron Hornaday.
12 career championships, most in AMA history.
We've got a goat and we've got sliced bread in this race. Goat being the greatest of all time, Ricky Carmichael.
That's right.
He's got way too many tires on this car that he was used to.
There he is, winning his 2006 championship.
He's had a few championships there on 2 wheels.
And now he's trying to make his way on 4.
He's also going to run the ARCA race that we will have on Speed from Daytona here in a couple weeks.
Getting ready for a restart here, Jim.
Hey guys, real quick, that the 4 car, the monster car of Ricky Carmichael, did come down pit road. From that incident, he got hard impact in the right front and it bent the rim. So the team, with an approved change, changed the right front tire for the kid that surprised and wowed so many here for a lot of years in Southern California doing Supercross.
Eichler will be on the inside for this restart. Bayne on the outside of the #1. Holmes in the 20. Hornaday's orange 33. Berkshire and Mayhew. Logano and Bowles. Mike David. Austin Dillon. Your top 10. Kovaluk's up to 11th. Vidovich 12th. Getting set for the restart. And we begin lap 64. We're back under green.
Trevor Bayne had trouble going on the outside. Look at Eric Holmes down on the bottom.
Slides up, but not with the lead.
Trevor Bayne had a lot of trouble getting going on the outside. That allowed Eric Holmes to jump up beside Brian Eichler. Eric Holmes actually led that lap on the bottom of the racetrack. Jeff Berkshire now moving up in a battle for the third spot with Trevor Bayne.
It's not a battle for third. It's 5 cars battling for the lead.
Oh, contact.
Yellow, turn 4. 25 and 29 up there. Jason Fensler and Nick Lynch. 4th caution and lap 65. 5th caution, rather. Eichler, Holmes, Bayne, Berkshire, Hornaday, who will have the lead next.